Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your February forecast. I hope that this month is getting off to a fantastic start, and it's great to see everyone again. In case you're wondering, you can always use this for your sun, your rising, and for your moon sign. And why don't we now get straight into the channeled information? As I was meditating on your sign and selecting a deck of cards to work with, the message I got today was one of immediacy. And if any of you have been holding back on doing something, saying something, or really going after a goal that you have in your life, the message today is that you should begin or embrace that goal now, today. And it doesn't mean that you have to complete it today. It just means that I want you to take the first step in that direction. No holding back, no more excuses. Find a way to start or to research or to begin it in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Now let's go ahead and shuffle the cards and see what messages they have to bring as well. And just in case you're brand new, while I'm shuffling here, the way I organize this is I'm going to pull a Celtic cross here in just a moment, and then I expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. I also have an extra card that I pull called a catalyst, and I'll get into that in just a moment. I'm going to pause now and be quiet while I pull all of the cards so that I can focus on receiving the information from the cards. All right, let's take a look now at your Catalyst card. The Catalyst card is the one message that really is resonating throughout the entire month. It sort of sets the tone and also sets the action into motion here. So we have the Fortune card reversed. This is like the Wheel of Fortune. And for many of you, your focus could be this month on getting more stability with your money, possibly a change of how you make your money, and the other thing with this is it's a self-worth card, so all of these things you could be working on trying to understand. They definitely will have an effect on the rest of the cards here. So let's go ahead and turn the camera down. I'm going to pull these down so you can see them a little bit better, and we'll talk about the messages here. Right at the center, very good card actually, the Three of Cups. This one speaks to your ability this month to really network quite easily. There might be even a celebration towards the beginning of the month or a reason to celebrate. And so that bodes quite well. The only cautionary note that I have here is that right on top of that we have the Devil card. So what we would be able to infer by looking at that is, with the Three of Cups, really make sure that you trust the audience to whom you're speaking. And this is just a good rule of thumb, generally speaking. If you are saying something, assume that it's going to get back to its source and only say things that you really want to be attached to in the long run. Know that you're kind of putting your name to that quotation. So Three of Cups says, hey, it's going to be easy for you to connect. You'll have a lot of people talking to you. There could be a couple of people, especially in workplaces, that may have ulterior motives. So just assume that what you say will be broadcast, and don't divulge any sort of information that you've either signed on a non-disclosure agreement or that, again, you just feel that you're holding in confidence for someone else. So especially if they trusted you with something and there's no reason to betray that trust. So keep true to your word, be kind to others, and really just say things that you stand behind, because assume otherwise that it's going to get back to the source and possibly be attributed back to you as well. As we look at the deep past, we have the King of Swords, and when we look at the recent past, we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. When you look at the two of these together, it's showing me very diligent work. Some of you might have been really busy at looking at all of your accounting, or this could be a card of research. For those of you in school, I actually see that some of you may have sought out a tutor or have been really working to overcome some of the challenges you've had, maybe improved a grade, by one level, and that's great. For those of you that are trying to overcome financial issues, this card, Seven of Pentacles, indicates slow and steady recovery. The reversal means you still have a lot of energy to put into it, but you're starting to see returns. No matter what you're doing and what you're overcoming, I'm really happy to say that it should continue, and you should continue to see some marked improvement. So don't let up on that great work that you've been doing so far. Now, your crowning card is the Four of Pentacles. I see this sometimes as a foundational card. It can also mean a card of holding things too close to you, or holding on to fear associated with letting go of something, but I actually see this as a foundational card. I want you, if you are thinking of doing something new or taking a risk, don't be afraid to share it with someone. I think that there's some assistance that's just around the corner for you, or someone's been kind of giving or dropping hints. Hey, what's going on with this? Maybe I can lend you a hand. This would be a great time to have a conversation with them and see if it makes sense to work together. As we're looking now at the near future, this card is one where I think this is really attached to the channeled information this month, which is sometimes you can think yourself in a corner. The Four of Cups is about another missed opportunity. What I like about both of these, again, don't delay on beginning something, but if we look at both of these cards, this is your crowning card and this is the near future. Notice how someone is there, and it's really up to you if you're going to take advantage of the people that want to offer assistance. Nobody can force your hand, nobody can make something happen, but I think that now is the time to start to let people in on your ideas, bring in some constructive criticism, and socialize the ideas a bit. But again, with that Devil card at the center, be very clear on who it is. So for those of you thinking of starting a business or sharing a new idea, you want to make sure that people do sign non-disclosures and that you can trust them. For the rest of you, this is just a chance to get out of your head, because the Devil card can also indicate being stuck, being chained, feeling like you're trapped. So know now that it's time to let go of those shackles and it's time to move forward. As we look at your Ego card, it's a great one. We have the Magician, and the Magician card is your chance to manifest. It is reversed, and whenever I see the Magician reversed, there's a warning about taking on too much, maybe lacking focus. And so what you can do is put up some limits in all aspects of life. At work, know when to say when, and basically, if you can't get everything done, communicate the risk that only certain tasks will be finished and allow your manager or your coworkers to kind of help pick up the slack. In your personal life, try not to fix everything for everyone. The Magician card can be a Mr. Fix-It card, where you feel like, well, let me just take on that, or, I'll just do this because I know it'll get done right. No, this is a chance for you to focus on one or two things and do them very well. When you spread yourself too thin, not only are you not going to be able to focus, but you also risk being a little bit tired, making some mistakes, etc. Now, as we look at your environment card, we have the High Priestess, and this is a really great card for you. This is showing your ability to pull in exactly the type of teammates that you need, the opportunities that you need, and also that once you do focus, as you see, you'll be able to create something of value. So this is definitely a case of less is more, and limiting your scope so that what you can do is of a higher frequency and quality than if you spread yourself too thin. For those of you that are developing some sort of a service or a product in your business, perhaps, this is about not trying to make everybody happy, but really trying to please your niche audience. One final note with both of these cards is that they're cards of attraction. And so remember with this that like attracts like. So you want to really focus this month on how you feel and what you think, because those two things are going to absolutely bring in the exactly what you're putting out into the universe. So if you are in a place where you're very kind of frantic or distracted, or you're feeling that nothing is going to happen or go your way, then you sort of call into existence that chaotic energy so that you can learn from it. If instead you think, I'm now ready to make these things happen in my life, and I want to make them happen now, and not only am I going to begin them, but they're going to be successful, then you start to pull in people that believe in you rather than people that are challenging you. So I want you to try to reprogram your cognitive process this month and start to broadcast positive intentions, positive actions, and see if that doesn't change things a little bit. When I look at your hopes and fears, we have the Strength card. So this is about really finding that internal gumption, that strength, that ability to stand up for yourself, and to sometimes project experience and a sense of confidence that may be beyond your years. It's interesting that in this deck, strength is the crone, but this is an example of you maybe even having to work with an audience that is much older than you, or maybe you're managing someone that's older than you, or you could be dating someone that's in a different age span. But I want you to know that you have it within your sort of soul's maturity to bring on this challenge, whatever it is. So, so embrace that and realize that you can do it. And once you release that, then things will be okay. So we have a reconstruction card here, or a restructuring card. Whenever I see the Tower in its reverse state, it usually indicates that change is afoot, but it's change that you're going to be ready for, because you've probably had several heads up prior to it happening. And this is also at the very end of the month. So when we go back and take a look at the spread here, we have two cards where people want to come in and offer feedback and perhaps a warning. So within the second and third weeks of the month, you should have some sort of feedback on what big change could be happening in the future. Don't shut yourself out. And that's why it makes sense now that your central card is the Three of Cups. It is a good month to stay connected. Just avoid gossip, avoid saying things that you might regret, but keep your ear open, and if there is something that's worth paying attention to, take note, and then do what you can do to prepare. Remember that your catalyst card this month was the Fortune card in reverse, which is speaking to the fact that you're probably going to change some of your work habits, or there might be a shift in the way that people are perceiving you. So all in all, this is possibly a very good change that's happening. You just want to embrace it. You want to pay attention and be prepared for it. And for some of you, that can mean, when we're looking at the Seven of Pentacles card here, just making sure that you have an emergency fund so that when and if things change, you're ready and you can take care of yourself. So that summarizes the main Celtic cross. Let's now expand the forecast and look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll start off with the health card, which is a mind, body, and spirit card. I'll pull the camera down as I shuffle. Let's just see what the cards have to say about your health. So we have a growth card here, which means that if you're looking to change something in your health, if you're looking to make a shift, this month is very much supporting that. And the other thing is, this is a consciousness expansion card. So for those of you looking to really expand your spiritual development, this is a great month to do so. Now, when I pulled the card, it was in the reverse state, which could show some apprehension or some nerves when it comes to that expansion, that meditation practice. You just really want to practice your grounding techniques and make sure that you understand what it is intention-wise that you're trying to accomplish through this spiritual development. All right, let's take a look now at your wealth card. We'll be using Lord Ganesha, which can help you overcome any obstacles that you may be experiencing. This month, your wealth card says, clear your energy. Clear your energy can also indicate clearing unnecessary debts, or even if there's something that you're owning, maybe it's some sort of a luxury item like an expensive sports car or a yacht, or for some of you it could just be clearing the clutter and making some money off of some of the items that you're not using, or claiming a donation from that. But whatever it is, there's a chance to clear out something that you no longer need. Maybe you purchased because you thought it would make you feel better, but now it's making you feel sad because it costs too much, or you just don't need it, so you could make something more by giving it away or by selling it. So clear something in your energy when it comes to belongings, and I really think this has to do with physical belongings, or for some of you it could be investments too, but whatever feels stuck or isn't working, or you look at it and you think, why did I get that? This is a month to find a way to release it and to move forward. All right, let's now take a look at love and relationships. And your love card this month is, actually we'll pull this one. It says, honesty is essential. And you know, when we look at that devil card in the center over top of the Three of Cups, I think this is definitely true. And it's interesting, and I didn't even think about this until I was looking at the relationship read here, but a lot of times when the devil card comes through and you're either in an existing relationship or wanting to start a new relationship, what it can indicate is a lack of availability, or the fact that you and your partner may not be on the same mental page when it comes to expectations of the relationship. Additionally, when you combine that card with the Three of Cups, it may also indicate that there are certain needs that are not being met. Emotional needs, physical needs, or just your expectations for what the relationship should be. So this can indicate a need to really reevaluate, is this the person that you want to be with? Sometimes these two cards can indicate that another person has entered the relationship. So that can mean an affair, that can mean that it could even be something like an emotional affair. Whatever it is, you definitely want to get to the heart of the matter with your most intimate relationships. Now, if it's a friendship, this is definitely a trust issue, and it would be about, can you trust them? Are they talking to someone else? Again, whatever it is with your love and with your intimate relationships this month, I would come forward and let them know what your concerns are. Don't make accusations without any sort of substantial background or knowledge on it, but you could just say, I feel like we're drifting apart, or it feels like this is happening, let's talk. And that's a great way to create a conversation that's not immediately accusing someone. You could just say, I'm noticing that we're a little bit more distant. Is there anything that you want to talk to me about, or what should we do about this? So try to be proactive and productive when it comes to that. And then if they're not opening up, that's going to be very telling in and of itself, and you can decide what to do from there. All right, let's look now at your Destiny card. And the Destiny card is probably my favorite card in the deck, because it gives you a chance to kind of check in internally and see, am I happy with my current trajectory? It's like a compass rose or a GPS. So this is your opportunity to exercise free will. Let's see what the message is, and we'll interpret that accordingly. Okay. All right, so we have the Shooting Star. It was reversed when it was on the table here, but it's still a very positive card. Shooting Star is about you really starting to see how your wishes, your dreams, and your aspirations absolutely are tied to what manifests. And I was mentioning at the beginning that I really wanted you to get tied to this idea of reprogramming your cognitive process, starting to broadcast positive energy around, I am doing this, this will happen, and you can start to feel that when you're in a positive mind, then you start to call in people that support you as well. When you're a little bit chaotic, or where you're a little bit scattered, then you're not going to have the same effect. You're going to actually diffuse your energy a little bit. So if you really want to embrace this High Priestess card, then know that whatever you're trying to make happen is already starting to happen, and now you can start to enjoy and reap the benefits of it. So I actually think you're on the right track. Just don't second guess yourself. When you do that, then you're actually doing a discredit to your own ability to manifest. Okay, let's go ahead and review everything we talked about, and then we'll wrap up. Your channeled information today was to no longer delay any sort of plans that you have for starting something that you care about. Today is the day to begin your personal journey. Don't delay, okay? Your catalyst card was to change the way you are either making money or your relationship to money, and know that now you are an attractive force when it comes to success, money, fortune. As we look at the cards themselves here, the center cards have a couple of meanings, and they're packed differently depending on your situation. But the Three of Cups in and of itself is a positive card, a great chance for networking. The Devil card is telling you to be careful about who you speak to, and also be careful not to spill the beans if there's something that you've been trying to keep in confidence. When it comes to relationships, it's about speaking your truth, and we'll look at that again when we expand the forecast. But there may be something that your closest partnership, you need to bring out and sort of air dirty laundry. If that's the case, deal with it sooner than later. Your deep past and your recent past are very productive cards. It looks like you've been busy. I want to encourage you to continue that work of either putting away money, working on your skills, or overcoming any difficulties in either of these categories or somewhere else in your life. Basically, I see continued growth and recovery. When it comes to your overall wealth, we see the Four of Pentacles card here. The interesting thing with this one is that there is help or information that is just in the periphery. Don't shut it out. The same is true for the Four of Cups. You want to open your heart and mind to different ideas and allow for this help that wants to come through. When we're looking at your manifestation, it's really strong this month, but you could somehow get distracted, and that's your first warning. And the second one is basically showing that once you focus, you're going to be okay, but it's all about the quality over the quantity. A smaller scope is going to equal greater success for you this month. Don't be intimidated by someone who's older or more experienced than you. Pull on your soul's power. Know that we are all eternal and that you have the ability to stand up and meet them in their space. And when we look at the outcome card, we have the Tower reverse, which is a card of restructuring, but one that you have some sort of a heads up about. And so listen and pay attention. There's a lot of markers around the second and third weeks of the month. When we expand the forecast, your health card is about really spiritual expansion this month. There may be growth in other areas of your life, but I really think that this has to do with spiritual expansion. If you want to increase your physical fitness this month, this card also supports that as well. Just be clear on your intentions. Intentions are really powerful throughout this month for you. As we look at your wealth card, getting rid of unnecessary trappings, whatever they may be, whether they're financial or physical, now is the time to release them. As we look at your love card, it's basically going back to those two center cards and encouraging you to be honest, open, and transparent. Finally, don't second guess yourself. The caption on this card was confirmation, so let that be just that. You're doing well. Continue to broadcast positive intentions and positive thoughts, and that's going to be the key to success. So that brings this monthly reading to a close, but I hope that you received the guidance that you needed. If you ever have an additional need to look at your life, whether it's relationships, love, career, etc., feel free to reach out to me. I do offer one-on-one appointments, and you can look right in the description area just below the video, and you will see a link there that shows a book appointment. You can check availability and rates there. Also, if you'd like to stay in touch, the easiest way to do that is simply to hit subscribe or to click on that little bell notification button, and you will receive an email every time I post new videos. I have a newsletter, which is another great way to stay in touch, or you can join me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Additionally, if you just found that this was a very helpful channel and you like the videos that I produce here, you can donate as little as $1 through either Patreon or my website, and you can check out the links below for that. Finally, and most importantly, I just want to thank everybody for continuing to do the work on themselves. I believe that we're in a time now where each light on the planet, each soul on the planet is really, really important. And the more that you and I can grow and understand ourselves, and the brighter and lighter we can become, the better this world is. So I'm hoping we can change the world one person at a time. So continue to work on yourself. Make yourself that agent of change. Shine brightly. And thank you so much for letting me be a part of your transformation. Have a great day.